Okay, good afternoon. So we will continue chapter 6 of our topic, no? Accounting for corporations. So I have to discuss now the remaining problems. Of course, but not all. No, we will discuss problem 2, 3, 7, 11, 15, and 17 about issuances of shares for cash, for non-cash assets, for services, then the subscription, the treasury tax, and the donated tax. So again, as we reviewed, no, for the issuance of shares of stocks, we can accept for considerations, of course, cash, actual cash paid to the corporation. We can also issue shares of stocks for any tangible or intangible assets or properties, for services that was actually rendered, no, to the corporation. It's also possible that if there are indebtedness or in our debt, no, by the corporation, we can exchange it for shares of stocks. We can share it or we can exchange it, no. Then also we will discuss we will be having a review on the issuances of shares of stocks for cash. Okay, normally if it's with par value, all you need to do is to compute for the par value. Then any excess of that will be recorded to be a share premium, then kung anong klaseng stock siya, let's say ordinary share or a preference share. So if it is above par. So if without par value, but there is a stated value, then we will be using the stated value in recording the ordinary shares. Then again, in any excess of the stated value will be recorded as share premium. Okay. So as we continue, let's try to move on problem 2 for the issuance of cash again. No? Though I already discussed problem 1, I think, last time. Problem 4, problem 5, and problem 6. So let's move on problem 2. Valdez Tours Incorporated is authorized to issue 220,000 shares of no par ordinary shares, 15 stated value. So this is just a stated value and not a par value. Journalize the following transaction. And also, please be reminded that if just in case that there will be no stated value that was given in the problem, and there was also no par value, all you need to do is to record it at least at 5 peso as per Corporation Code of the Philippines. No? So, yun yung gagamitin mo, the 5 peso, just in case lang naman. But of course, if there is a par value or the stated value, then you have to record it based on the par value or stated value. Okay. On May 23, the corporation sold 4,000 shares of ordinary shares at 18,000 per share for cash. Of course, all you need to do is to record it for cash. Then all you need to do is to debit cash for how much? It's let's compute. Using your own calculator, you compute with it's 18 pesos times 4,000 shares. So we receive a cash of 72,000. Then of course we have to credit ordinary shares. Ordinary shares. And ordinary shares will be equivalent to 4,000 times 15 pesos. And that's 60,000. And again, any excess of that will be recorded as share premium. Before, when we are studying, this is considered to be, or it was known to be as additional paid-in tax. Okay, so nung nagbago ang corporation code, it was already called as share premium. Then the difference will now be 12,000. I hope you can follow. Then next is, on June 19, the corporation sold 12,500 shares of ordinary shares at 17 pesos per share for cash. So again, it's for cash. So all you need to do is to debit cash. Then you have to multiply the 12,500 shares times the 17 pesos. Then that's 212,500. Then you record it as ordinary shares. No, according to the problem, it's an ordinary share. ordinary shares, it's 12,500 you multiply by the stated value of 15 pesos, and that's 187,500. And of course, again, any excess of that will be recorded as share, premium, ordinary share. So the difference is 212,500 minus 187,000. It's 25,000 pesos. Okay, now let's continue. I hope all of you can still follow, no? Then now let's move on problem 3. Problem 3 actually is a reconciliation of accounts, no? So titingnan kung nasusundan nyo yung ni-record nung company. So we have Tampipi Corporation. Describe the transactions recorded in the following accounts of Tampipi Corporation. So as you can see, number 1, it has a debit of cash for 3,200,000 and a credit to ordinary share of 3,200. So what will happen here is the corporation or Tampipi Corporation sold ordinary shares for 3,200,000, of course, for cash. Then number 2 is, as you can see, there was a debit of 40,000 cash, a credit, a debit of 40,000 organization expense, and a credit to cash for 25,000, and also a credit to ordinary shares of 15,000. So meaning, there was a services rendered, and that is an organization expense. So for organization expense, organization expense, paid cash for 25,000 and we issued an ordinary shares for 15,000. That's problem 3. Okay, if you have any questions, you can just send me a message, no, through our group chat. Then next problem will be problem 7, no? Dito we have issuance of shares for cash, issuance of shares for non-cash assets, and also issuance of shares for services. So this is just a review, no? As I have discussed it last time. Okay, problem 7, issuance of ordinary share and preference shares. Villarama Corporation was organized on January 1, 2018. It is authorized to issue 20,000 shares of 6%, 50 pesos par value per preference shares. Take note of that. And 50,000 shares of no par ordinary shares, but with stated value of 10 pesos per share. The following stock transactions were completed during the year. Okay, so the requirement is, number 1 is to record or journalize the transaction, then post to the shareholders' equity accounts, and prepare the share capital section of the shareholders' equity at December 31, 2018. Okay, so let's try to solve this one. I'll make another sheet, or I'll just continue it here. It's problem 7. Okay, for problem 7, it's January 10. So it's 10 January. Okay, now. First is issued 10,000 ordinary shares for cash at 35 per share. Of course, it's debit cash. It's 10,000 times, 35 pesos. So that's 350,000. And of course, we have to record the ordinary shares issued. Ordinary shares. And that's 10,000 times the stated value of 10 pesos per share. That's 100. And again, any excess of that will be recorded as share, premium, ordinary. Okay, the excess will be 250. Okay, next. March 1. So on March 1, let's have the company or the corporation issued 10,000 preference shares for cash at 55 per share. So all we need to do is to record it as cash for cash, no? It's for cash, so it's cash for 10,000 shares, preference shares multiplied by 55. So it's 550,000. Then record it as a preference share. Preference shares or par value for preference shares is 50 pesos. So it's 10,000 shares multiplied by 50, and that's 500,000. And there is already an excess also, no? May excess din tayo na magkano? Fair premium. Then we have preference. It's 50,000. During our time, it was prepared stock, no? Tawag. Ngayon, preference share. Okay, next. April 1. Let's move on April 1. On April 1, the corporation issued 2,500 ordinary shares for land. The asking price for land was 90,000 and the market value of land was 85,000. So again, let's have a review. If it is a non-cash assets, all you need to get is the fair market value of an asset. Just in case there is no fair market value of an assets, then you have to record it at book value, no? Yung book value ng asset as of this time. Okay, so as stated in the problem, the fair market value of the land was 85,000. So it should be recorded as land for 85,000. So, let's record the ordinary shares issued. Ordinary shares are, ilan daw yan? Kulang ng S. Ordinary share. It's 2,500. You multiply by the stated value of 10, so that's 25,000. Of course, there's an excess, so it's share premium, ordinary. Okay, I hope all of you can still follow, no? Then next is on May 1. May 1. On May 1, the corporation issued 7,500 ordinary shares for cash. Dali lang yan, no? The debit to cash, sabi niya. 7,500 times 40. And then we have the ordinary shares. 7,500 issued shares multiplied by the stated value, it's 75,000. Of course, again, there's an excess. So it's a share premium. Ordinary. So that's 225,000. I'm sorry for the spelling. Let's just correct it. Okay, then next, on August 1. On August 1, the corporation issued 1,000 ordinary shares to lawyers in payment of their bill of 50,000 pertaining to the services rendered in helping the corporation organize. So this is issuance of shares in lieu of services, no? So the services, ito yung organization expense. So let's record it as an expense. Organization expense. How much? It's 50,000. And then we issued how many shares? 1,000 shares. Ordinary. According to the problem, it's ordinary. So ordinary shares, 1,000 multiplied by 10. It's 10,000. So we have share premium. I'm sorry. I forgot to write ordinary. Then we have the difference, 40,000. Last two. On September 1. On September 1, the corporation issued 500 shares for cash. So, cash, 160 times 500. It's 30,000. Then ordinary shares. 500 times 10. And share premium ordinary. It's 25,000. Okay, so that's it. And last on our problem is on November 1. Issued 2,000 preference share for cash. So again, for cash. Cash, it's 2,000 times 53. Then ordinary shares. Ordinary shares for 2,000 times, sorry, preference pala. 2,000 times 50. So that's 100. So this is preference share. Preference. Okay. Then, of course, there's an exit of 6,000 pesos, which will be recorded as share premium preference share. 6,000. Okay, that's it. We recorded or we already journalized all the transaction, no? Of Villarama Corporation. Then the next one is let's post it to the shareholders equity, no? So pag i-post yan, so I will not show you no on posting, syempre account lang yan or ledger. Now, what we're going to do next let's prepare the share capital section. So in using these transactions, no? So all we need to do is okay, let's prepare the number 3. Okay. Number 3. Okay, so let's have 6%. That's 6% preference shares. 50 pesos ang kanyang par. 20,000 authorized shares authorized. So, ilan ang issued natin? On March 1, it's a preference shares of 10,000 plus another, asan pa yung isa? November 1, also a preference shares of 2,000 shares, sorry, for a total of 12,000 issued shares. That's how we present it on the equity section. Issued and outstanding shares. Issued and outstanding. Outstanding. So how much is that? That is on March 1, it's 500 plus 100, so 600,000. Then we also have the share premium for the preference shares. The share premium is equals to, on March 1, let's see, it's 50 plus 6. So it's 56,000. for a total of, for the preference, it's 656,000. Okay, then next, let's have the ordinary shares. Ordinary shares. So you will write no par. Wala siyang par value, di ba? Stated value of 10 pesos. 50,000 shares issued and outstanding. Okay, where did I get that 50,000? Okay, on January 10, it's 10 plus 2, 5. Sorry. 50,000 authorized muna tayo. I forgot the authorized. Authorized shares. Authorized. Then issued is, it's not 50,000. Issued is, let's count. 10,000 plus 2, 5, 12, 5, plus 7, 5, that's 20, plus 1, 21, plus 5, 21,500. Okay. I hope you can still follow, no? It's 21,500 shares issued and outstanding. So that's how much? Oh, let's get the total. On January 1, it's 100,000. Plus, we have 25,000 on April, plus 75,000 on May, plus 10,000 on August, plus 5,000 on September. So that is 215,000. And of course, the share premium for ordinary. And that's the total of it is 250,000 plus 60,000 plus 225 plus 40 and plus 25 for a total of 600,000. So our total equity as of this time is how much? It's 1,471,000. Okay, this is now our total share capital. Okay, that's it. Now, let's make a review on subscription, no? Before we answer problem 11. So again, when we say subscription, a portion of shares was subscribed, no, by a shareholder. Kaya lang, not all the subscribed shares was already paid. So may mga terms of payment sila. Okay, possible may 50% down payment. It depends, no? So ngayon, how are we going to record if there is a subscribed stock? Okay, so again, kapag yung sinubscribe mo, okay, let's say a number of shares, let's say 1,000 shares was subscribed by a certain shareholders at, let's say, 12 pesos, then it has a par value of 10 pesos. So, i-record mo siya at 12 pesos, but ang gagawin mo is you have to record it as subscription receivable upon subscription. Then you have to credit, subscribe, ordinary share. If it's an ordinary, of course, if it's a premium share, you record it as a subscribed premium share, preference share, sorry. And then share premium in any excess, no? Now, upon payment of the subscription, syempre, parang usual recording na lang yan ng receivables. You have to debit cash and credit receivable. Kapag kabayad na lahat, no, ng subscribed shares natin, you just have to close the subscribed shares and close it to the ordinary share or preference share. So, let's have Problem 11. Problem 11. Sosa Caterers Incorporated was organized in May 13. In the articles, it is stipulated that the authorized capital for preference share is 4,500 shares, 110 par value, and 42,000 shares for ordinary shares, 30,000 par value. So all we need to do is to record now the journal entries. Okay, let's have problem 11. Problem 11. Okay, on May 8, the corporation or the company received subscriptions to 14,000 ordinary shares at 30 pesos per share, collected 65% of the subscription price. So, nakakollect naman na tayo. So, let's record March 8. So, let's record the subscription, no? Upon subscription, let's record the subscription receivable. Subscription receivable. For how much? So that is 14,000 ordinary shares at 30 per share. So that's 420,000. Then let's record the ordinary shares subscribed. Ordinary shares subscribed. So may nakalagay na subscribe. Kasi it was under subscription contract. It's contract. It's binding actually. Okay. So par value niya, yun din. So walang excess, no? There's no, but just in case there's an excess, we will record the share premium. Okay, now, on the same date, 65% was already collected. So you have to record cash. Pwede mo naman siyang direct. No, ang subscription receivable lang will be 35%. Pero I just want to show you na i-record mo muna siya as receivable, then you record the payment or the receipt of payment. Pero pwede diretso yan, ha? Okay, sige. Cash for, magkano yung 65%? 420,000 times 65%, that is 273,500. And then, subscription. Receivable. Okay, so that's it. Then, on June 7th, subscribers to 14,000 shares paid an additional 20% of the subscription price. Okay, nagbayad nung June 7. So, additional payment. So, i-record natin, 7 of June. So, we receive cash for 20% daw. So, 420 times 20%. So, that's 84,000. And of course, a credit to subscription receivable of also 84,000. And then next, on July 6th, 6th of July, subscribers to 14,000 ordinary shares paid an additional 15% of the subscription price. So, yung kabuuan na niya, kasi kanina 65% was paid, an additional 20, that's already 85, and plus the 15, so binayaran na niya, no, yung kabuuan. So, let's debit cash for 420,000 times 15%, that's 63,000. That's it. And also, as of this date, bayad na siya lahat, right? So the subscription receivable was already closed. So let's close the ordinary shares. Subscribe. And let's record now the issuance of the ordinary shares of 420,000. 420,000. On September 4, received subscriptions of 4,300 ordinary shares of 32 pesos and collected 60%. Okay, bagong subscription na naman ito. So, on 14th of September, we receive a subscription. Subscription receivable. So, that is 4,300 times 32. Then we have ordinary shares subscribed. Of course, the par value of that share that was subscribed for 3 times 30 pesos. Then there's an excess, no? Na magkano ang excess natin? 37 minus 129. It's 8,600 na share premium. Then, of course, as of this date, 60% of the subscription price was paid. So let's get the 60% to 37,600 times 0.6. That's 82,560. And then let's record subscription receivable. 82,560. Okay, so we don't have much time for this session. So I will continue on problem 15 and 17 a little later and try to upload this evening. So thank you for listening. That's all. Let's uwi na.